Hello friends, I am Sparsha. I never planned to post this video until a young viewer suddenly asked me, what is garden soil? I realized the videos I am making are not making any sense to many of my viewers. And that question also reminds me about myself when I started gardening. It took a lot of time to learn the basic terms and their meaning. So, in this video, I'll narrate how to make soil for the vegetables, fruits and flowers grown in the container. I'll also explain the ingredients I use and why I am using them, and also where to get them from. So, let's start the video. Most flower, vegetables and fruit plants require almost same type of soil mix. The main criteria of this mix are: number 1, they are lightweight; number 2, they are airy; and number 3, water drains out quickly so that it remains moist and not sticky. Some plants may require minor changes, but mainly if the soil has these properties, most plants grow very well. A small note of caution: the soil mixture I'll tell in this video is not meant for any indoor plant. So don't use this mix for them. I'll upload a separate video for their potting mix. Apart from the ingredients I have mentioned in this video, there are many others. They can also be used for different purposes, but here in this video I have mentioned only those few which I use and I am getting very good result out of them. The first ingredient is of course soil. The ingredient which I mention as garden soil in my videos. Those of us who are living in a city, the only source of soil is nursery. They sell them in sacks and charge as per demand. Whenever you buy from any dependable nursery. Remember, the soil you are purchasing is not garden soil. This soil can be of 3 types depending from where the soil is being collected. Clay soil. Mostly the nurseries sell this type of soil. When dry, they are very hard. When you break it, it will be powdered. And when wet, they are very sticky. Air cannot pass through this kind of soil. Depending on the quality, we need to add sand and organic manure to make these usable for the garden, and then we can call them as garden soil. Later in this video, I'll tell about sand and the organic matter. Second type of soil is sandy soil. Here, the amount of sand in the soil is very high, and this kind of soil do not clump. These soils are not sold in the nurseries. And the third variety is loamy soil. This is the best soil for the plant. It is the soil we make from the clay soil by adding sand and organic manure, as I told earlier. You have to be very lucky to get this kind of soil from any nursery. Depending on the geographical location, weather, etc., the color and the ingredients in the soil differs. Use the soil which you can source easily at your location, and the plants will grow fine in them. Don't worry. Next ingredient is sand. River sand is used for this purpose. Coarse grains are better because we add sand so that the soil becomes airy and water can drain out freely without accumulating. If coarse sand is not readily available, use the available construction sand after washing them properly. That will also do. The next is organic manure. The main 2 types of organic manure I am using are: number 1, the cow dung compost, and number 2, the vermicompost. Cow dung compost. First thing, one must know that cow dung and cow dung compost are totally different entity. Don't use cow dung directly unless it is composted for at least 1 year. This compost will be dark brown in color, fluffy, and will not have any offensive smell in it. Nowadays in cities, it is very difficult to get. This comes cheaper than vermicompost, use it if you can manage to source it. Otherwise, use vermicompost. In this context, I should tell you, please use your kitchen waste to make compost at home too. Not only you will be contributing to the environment, but also you will always have the best quality of organic manure at your hand. I have already uploaded a video about how to make kitchen compost. You will get the link in the description box. Go through it if you wish. Second, vermicompost. This is easily available in most of the nurseries. They sell it loose by weight. You can also purchase 50 kg sack if required. They come much cheaper. This also you should buy from any dependable nursery and ask price and company name in few others before purchase. Nurseries have tendency to ask absurd price for them. When we mix compost to the soil becomes lighter, airy and fertile, and the capacity of holding moisture is also increased. How much sand or compost to be mixed with the soil to make it useful depends on the soil you get from the nursery. But generally 50% soil, 20% sand, 30% compost do the job in most cases. Now, after this garden soil is prepared, I mix other ingredients as per need of particular plant, and as I told earlier, except few, most plants need same type of mix. For example, in tomato plant, the mixture can be like garden soil 40%, vermicompost 30%, coco peat 10%, neem cake powder 10%, bone meal 10% and trichoderma viride as required. You may notice that with the garden soil, I am mixing compost for the second time along with other ingredients. And this soil, after a cycle of growing any annual plant, will be considered as normal garden soil. And when to use for the next time, again other ingredients as per need to be mixed with it. In this way, the fertility of your garden soil get enriched every time. In the soil of permanent or the perennial plants, we have to add these items regularly to maintain the soil fertility. In the next part of my video, I'll discuss the reason and the availability of the other ingredients I use to the final potting mix of any container. N or nitrogen, P means phosphorus, K is potassium are the three main food those are needed for each and every plant in different ratios. The compost which we use to mix in the soil, be it vermicompost or cow dung compost, has NPK ratio 2:1:1. That means the percentage of nitrogen is higher. So we need to mix phosphorus and potassium to it to make the soil balanced. That's why I mix bone meal or bone dust to it. This bone dust or meal is actually small pieces and dust of different slaughtered animal. If you see closely, you can see the small pieces of bone in it. They are available easily in all nurseries. There are other variety of bone meal which is steamed one. They are costly and usually not available in local nurseries. NPK value of bone meal is 3:15:0. That means it is very high in phosphorus. Adding this to soil, balance nitrogen and phosphorus in the soil. So what is left is potassium, and I am coming later to that part. Another ingredient I regularly add to the soil is neem khul or neem cake powder. The main reason of adding this to deter insects, different pests and even nematodes from the soil. Moreover, they have NPK value of 6:1:2. It is very slow releasing and thus it helps in the plant's nutrition too. Next ingredient what I add is Trichoderma viridi powder in small amount. It is a live fungus and it helps to kill the harmful fungus in the soil. The detailed video of this ingredient, that is Trichoderma viridi, I have already uploaded. The link you will find in the description box. You may go through it. Next thing I use is coco peat, which is optional. If you can source it, you may add to the soil. They are actually dust of coconut husk. Adding this to the soil will make the soil more lighter, more airy, and also will help to retain the moisture for a long time. So the quantity and frequency of watering both will be less. So from the discussion so far, we now learned that our potting mix has nitrogen, phosphorus, little potassium, antibacterial, pest deterrent, antifungal and anti-nematode in it. The only partially lacking ingredient is potassium or K. In this mixture, plants will grow healthy, but potassium will be required during flowering and fruiting period. I add homemade kitchen compost once a month to all my plants, and that fulfills the demand of potassium in great way. Since in kitchen compost we add skins of vegetables, different fruits, eggshells, tea, coffee, etc. They are very rich in all kind of nutrients. So friends, please don't throw away your kitchen waste. Other than this, you can add dried and powdered banana peel or banana peel soaked water to compensate the potassium in the soil. In this video, I tried to explain the basic principle of making soil for your vegetable, fruits and flowering plants. If this video has helped you, please press the like button and share it to those who may be benefited from this. If you have any queries, feel free to ask in the comment box and also mention how the video was and how I may improve my videos further. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for spending time with me. Be safe, healthy and happy gardening, friends.